Hello everyone, it's me, Gregory, the Dragon King, and welcome to the Dragon's Den. Okay, this is my third time doing this first part of this video. I don't know what's going on. I deleted a lot of videos, but off the CPU, so hopefully this works. Anyway, I've noticed that people are watching the videos, but they're not subscribing. I'm not going to change the content because I'm doing current, funny, and intellectual stuff. Some of you may not want to hear the doom and gloom, and as a Pisces, I typically don't want to hear it either, but there's a side of me that I always want to put positive information that's out there. And while doing videos on the tea and salacious things are great and wonderful, and I love those things, and I watch other people do them, and they're great, we have to do. I'm going to do serious stuff on this channel. So there's 4 stories that I have today, and I'm going to do another one about somebody else if I don't forget, that I think are important. So here we go. Let's get right into them before some other bullshit happens. All right. This first story is from the New York Post, and it was done by Catherine Don-Levy it's titled "A Watchdog Group Demands Johns Hopkins Eliminate DEI Program that called all white people privileged and created a toxic culture." So in this article, you have people discussing certain issues, particularly a doctor, what is her name? Dr. Sharita Hill, who is the diversity chief at the Johns Hopkins Healthcare Center or Hospital. And so what she's basically laid out is what the definition is for privilege, which I'll read right now, and and who are the recipients of that privilege and how it affects everybody else. It says, Diversity Word of the Month. Privilege is a set of unearned benefits given to people who are in a specific social group. Privilege operates on personal, interpersonal, cultural, and institutional levels, and it provides advantages and favors to members of dominant groups at the expense of members of other groups. In the United States, privilege is granted to people who have membership in one or more of these social identity groups: white people, able-bodied people, heterosexuals, cisgender people, males, Christians, middle or owning class people, middle-aged people, English-speaking people. Okay? So basically, the article goes on to say that this was a misstep, according to the chief diversity officer at Johns Hopkins. Here's the thing. I'm 52 years old, and if you've lived in this skin and been traveled all over the places, I don't disagree with half of what she said. Okay, she mentioned white people, Christians, they're all white privileged and things like that. Not all white people, not all Christians. You know what I'm saying? Although I don't subscribe to Christianity or anything like that. But I think when you reach her level, and she is at a high level in the administration at Johns Hopkins, there should be a sense of self-correct. There should be a sense of self-error if you made it, and not thinking that you're beyond reproach. And I think that because of that, she has dismissed all things that could be presented to her in terms of this being a misstep, this being something that should have been looked at by maybe one of her assistants or somebody. You know, just like in writing, you proofread things when you're in school, you make sure the spelling, the grammar's right, all that. And I think that just reading this, she's gotten to a level. Oh, and this story was done by Catherine Don-Levy, by the way. I think this Sharita Hill, Dr. Sharita Hill, Johns Hopkins diversity chief, she is one of the many people who are out here. You reach a certain level, and nothing can get you unbothered. you don't have any responsibility or accountability. And I think, that's what the problem is with that. Other than that, though, those things are, historical and statistical facts. Not that able-bodied, well, maybe because if you're able-bodied, you can get things. You know what I'm saying? But there are resources for physical disabled people. I think her whole thing was she's just really kind of, maybe that was her attempt to satisfy others in terms of when she talked about Christians and our privilege. Maybe she was looking at, to add those other things on that list to maybe circumvent the counteraction of what was coming, but unfortunately it didn't work. So y'all go read that article, and again, it's from the New York Post. The Watchdog Group demands Johns Hopkins eliminate DEI, that is diversity, equity, and inclusion program that called all white people privileged and created a toxic culture. So y'all gonna let me know what y'all think in the comments about that. So we are done with that story. I was able to finish it. Yeah. Okay, this second story is out of Florida. It doesn't get any non-weirder coming out of Florida. It's from The Guardian. The story is done by Richard Luscombe in Miami. It says Florida State Congressman introduces bill to ban pride flags from campuses. Okay. Florida State Congressman convinced students in the state are being subliminally, I can't even hardly say that word, indoctrinated with critical race theory, Marxism, and transgender ideology. I knew they were going to put that in there. Has introduced a law that seeks to ban pride flags from school and college campuses. So, it goes on to say that his proposed flag legislation, this is the Miami Republican David Barrero, an extremist who was simultaneously pushing a bill that would effectively ban all abortions in the state, even under situations of rape and child molestation and incest and things of that nature. Right? It's just absolutely ridiculous. His proposed flag legislation, which advanced from a crucial rule of law subcommittee hearing on a 9-4 party line vote Wednesday, would outlaw any flag that depicts a racial, sexual orientation, gender, or political ideology viewpoint. Teachers would also be prevented from wearing Pride or Black Lives Matter pins on their lapels of if the legislation passes. So there's we don't need to continue on with this. We already know Florida has had a particular stance on don't say the word gay. You can't have kids. The drag queen shows are being eliminated, and now we have pride flags being removed from the campus. And for me, I went to a campus for later on in my life when I went to school at Webster University. Shout out to Webster and the Gorlocks. I really, don't understand. If you're going to represent every country, you're going to have representation of different symbols of religion. But yet, somebody's sexual orientation, first of all, they keep using the phrase or the term indoctrination of kids. Nobody's indoctrinating kids at a campus. At that age, they're already grown. They're already grown. There's no indoctrination going. They're already grown at that age. Okay? And it is ultimately the responsibility of that parent. If you don't want your child going to a school where there's a pride flag, don't register them for the school. If you are that hell-bent on making sure that your child don't go to a school where there's a pride flag, guess what? Take them to another school. Register him or her to another school. Now you're probably saying, well, that's the closest school to their house. Well, if you are that hell bent on that child not being around or not having to see a pride flag when they come into the school, come out of school, those are just some consequences that you're going to have to make, because they're making them, for gay folks. You know what I'm saying? So, don't go. I just think it's ridiculous. Like, when is enough enough? So now it's going to be boys won't be able to wear maybe a backpack. Maybe they won't be able to eat rainbow candy. Maybe you won't be able to make a rainbow cake. What are they going to do when the rain happens and there's a rainbow in the sky? Oh no, they're going to keep that one because that's a biblical symbol. If y'all don't get the fuck out of here. I just think it's Florida. This is to me is what's happening in Florida. Florida is becoming a hotbed for a civil war. Not Florida in the United States, but just Florida and the people in Florida. Because all the stuff that's going on in Florida, me not living down in Florida, I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? I do care about what they're doing to the LGBTQI plus community. I do care. And other issues that they have with crime and involving minorities and women and things like that. But when it comes to what Florida's doing, Florida needs to be Florida. Florida wants to succeed, just like Texas and a few other places. Let them do it. Let this be the year of succession. Let this be the year of succession where Florida, Texas, and a few other southern states want to secede from the rest of the United States. Go. And when they do that, we're going to tax the hell out of them for goods, electrical power, because the South is bad with power. They get a hurricane and some of their power is out. Oil, all of that. Okay? All of that will be happening. Tax the hell out of them. You want to secede, you want to be different, you want to cause all these things going on, you will be taxed. Everything will be a tax. Everything will be a tax, I guarantee you. Because I'm just really sick of it's like, why are people using Florida as a catalyst, as a blueprint? Because the only blueprint you're getting is a blueprint for non-fucking sense. Non-fucking sense, okay? No common sense at all. Like, and I hear Governor DeSantis has now, today is the 21st of January 2024, but I hear DeSantis has rescinded his bid for the presidency for 2024. Well, that's the one thing we all can agree on when it comes to Governor DeSantis. And please, don't do it. He wasn't going to win in the first place. The numbers were not there. The data was not there for him to win. It just wasn't. So, that's going on in Florida, and y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Comment and share. This next story is from The Independent, and the story is by Martha McHardy, and it says, man calmly confesses to murdering fiance to avoid wedding and chilling, allegedly. I don't know why you gotta say alleged. It's right here. But everybody gotta talk. It's right here. Man calmly confesses to murdering fiance to avoid wedding and chilling videos. I know YouTube people, they using code and you can't say M and S. I'm like, what is it? Like, these are facts. It's right here. Okay, so anyway. It says, chilling footage captured the moment of Florida man, once again, calmly admitted to beating his fiancée to death to avoid marrying her, allegedly, right? I have to say allegedly, even though I did all that. Jerry Geisler, Oldham, 64, was sentenced to life in prison. You 64 years old, at that age, any desire to off somebody should have been done with. Because it's like you're going to be in jail for the rest of your life. It's stupid. Was sentenced to life in prison in 2021 for the August. Okay. He already in jail. Murder of his fiancée, Vicky Ed of Okaloosa. Okay, look, it's from Florida. We ain't got to read no more, right? You want to read the rest of it, go to The Independent. Go to man calmly confesses to murdering fiancé to avoid wedding and chilling video. And just go right here. Just go right here. Can y'all see it? Just go right there. Just go right there to The Independent. That's what it is. So look, it's Florida. Why are we shocked at anything like that? Like, it's also a precautionary to marriage is not for everybody. Not everybody wants to get married. Not everybody should be married. And unless he had the best, D, what I'm saying? Unless he had the best, tongue game, or he had money out the yin yang. I mean, marriage is not for everybody. Marriage is not for everybody. And if that man didn't kill himself because he didn't want to marry, for whatever reason, to avoid a wedding, if that ain't a precautionary tale, I don't know what is. Okay. Now, this next story is from Mark. I don't know Mark or whatever. It says NBC under fire for admitting C.J. Straw's Jesus reference in field interview. The story is by L.W. I don't know who L.W. is. So basically, when this gentleman won, let me just read this because it says the Houston Texans quarterback was interviewed after winning the wild card game against the Cleveland Browns. In the wake of the Houston Texans triumph 45-14 win over the Cleveland Browns in the NFL playoffs, quarterback C.J. Stroud's record-setting performance took center stage. Okay, C.J. always mentions faith in field interviews, okay? In a post-game interview with sideline reporter Catherine Tappan, Stroud expressed gratitude, saying, first and foremost, I just want to give all the glory and praise to my Lord Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm not a religious person. So anyway, apparently as the story goes, and you can read, and here's what it looks like if you go find it. That's what it looks like if you go find it. Is that a good picture? How about that? Yeah, that's a good picture. If you go find that. Apparently, as the story goes, NBC allegedly had edited out, what I'm saying, to just give a kind of conservative, non-specific, non-faith type of, just an interview. You know what I'm saying? And some people got upset. They were apparently NBC is going through some backlash situation, which I don't quite understand. First of all, you say what you want to say, but at the same time, there's a time and a place for it. You see what I'm saying? Now, imagine if he was Muslim, and he had said that, and they let it. A lot of the Christians would be in an uproar if they said Allah or one of the other Hindu. What if he was I don't know too many Indian Hindu people that play pro football, but you just never know, right? You never know, basketball, whatever. It's a different world we live in. Everybody's has talent no matter where they are, right? Now just imagine if he was a Muslim and he was a football player and he said thank you to Allah, and the Christians would be would it be the same type of? It would be a different backlash. It would be a different backlash. It would be, the Christians were upset because the word Jesus Christ was cut out of it, right? So they would be absolutely upset. But those same Christians that were upset for not hearing Jesus Christ, had they heard Allah, it would have been a whole nother situation. It would have been a whole nother situation, And I don't think a lot of Muslims would have been upset about it had they not had he been cut off from it, because not a lot of them would have. But when you think about this country being pro-Christian versus pro-Muslim and all the other religions that they deem not worthy, it would have been a problem if the Christians had heard him say Muslim, versus NBC cutting out him saying Jesus Christ. So the whole thing is just like I said, there's a time and a place for it, and I don't think that was the time for him to say Jesus Christ. You can say what you want, but I don't think that was the time and place for it. So now we are at the end of the video. It was quick. I had to do it quick because something was stopping me from doing the story. I guess it may have been all the extra storage that I did not have. But anyway, I want y'all to look forward to these type of stories. I know I did them quick tonight, but I wanted to get to some other things. But let me just reiterate that this channel is going to be current, informative, and funny. I do have two videos of me doing the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That type of stuff can be funny. It can be, salacious. So I may throw one of those in every now and then, okay? But I'm at a certain age where 10 years ago when I started this channel, 13 years ago about 10 years ago when I started this channel, it was different. You know what I'm saying? Different things were going on, and I was trying to find my niche. I've gotten older. I am no longer now I will watch these shows and tweet about them, and something might just come up out of the blue, but it is not the focus. The focus is to reach a more serious, a more politically aware, socially aware, consciously aware type of audience, with every now and then doing something fun and something off the cuff. You know what I'm saying? But because that's what we are now in our world. You know what I'm saying? We have to be more focused. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell your auntie, your uncle, tell somebody who's pro-gay, who's a liberal, tell somebody who's a Republican and conservative. Hell, maybe they might learn something. You know what I'm saying? I like to be fair on the channel, and hell, maybe they might find something that they like. You know what I'm saying? But whatever, just get it out there to the right folks, and just know that this is a good place. And who knows? I might do a movie review every now and then. I'm a science fiction person myself. I don't do a lot of tearjerker dramas, but if it's something I like, I'll put it. But just, this is going to be, just like I said, current, funny, intellectual, and we're going to just cover all topics that are, like I said, when you reach a certain age, you want real, you want honest, you want, something that is consciously moving you mentally, intellectually, and spiritually, not religion. We ain't gonna do that here. I don't do religion, but I'm just simply saying that it's 2024. The evolution has started. It has to start. So, but again, I put a poll up. Nobody, answered, of course. Just let me know what y'all want. But like I said, we sticking to social consciousness. We sticking to political stuff. We sticking to, things that are going to make you think. We're trying to bring more political conversations to the channel, and I just want you all, like I said, every now and then we'll do something funny, something out of the blue. Florida keeps you always busy with those type of stories. So y'all just, be honest about what you really want out here. And if this channel is not for you, then it's not. But, tell somebody else, tell the older people, tell somebody who really is trying to evolve intellectually and mentally. And, so don't forget to like, subscribe, share. I am Gregory. The Dragon King. Thank you for coming to the Dragon's Den. And you all are welcome at the Dragon's Castle anytime, as long as you are respectful, kind, and has an intelligent conversation, I guess. All right, anyway, bye-bye.